Good day, guys. And today we are hopping into the Mahindra XUV700 AX7L, if I'm not mistaken. It's a pretty long name, but this is the top spec of the new Mahindra. And the first thing I would just like to do, guys, is really soundproof. It's on the sunroof. It's very hard to and we have this wide roof panoramic sunroof, which is just outstanding. I always had it, which is the first thing that never come able to this car. Before I turn on the music from this a lot of the speakers we have right here, 12 speakers on the subwoofer from Sony. Oh, an immaculate sound, I might say. Also, there is a button. What is this? A lever here. So instead of you having to walk down there to leave this seat back and forth, you can do it from here. Why is it not working now? See? Ooh. But yeah, let's hop right into this interior. I have comments about this interior, especially because of the color. Let me just say in simple terms, you're gonna have a lot of cleaning to do over the lower. That's all I'm saying, hey. All I'm saying. Starting off on the outside, we have this stunning color called Everest White, an option amongst 5 other colors which come on the XU700. Moving on to the 18-inch alloy diamond cut rims, which look stunning and I think are the only option when it comes to the XU700. We move on to the striking clear LED headlamps with DRL and sequential turn indicators. And then we have the new Mahindra badge, which most people don't know as yet. Everywhere I went to this car, people kept on asking me, which car is this? Which car is this? Well, guys, this is the new Mahindra XUV700. Over on to the side, on the mirrors, there's some little cameras there which help you when you indicate. They show a view of what's behind you so you can indicate clear. My favorite feature from the outside is these smart door handles. They disappear when you lock the car and drive, or unlock when you want to enter. Look at them, so stunning and so futuristic. Moving on to the rear, we have this captivating arrowhead LED tail lamps, which really do stand out from other brands, especially at night. You can just see from far that, that's a Mahindra passing me. So we're about to go for a drive in the luxurious Mahindra XUV700. This is a continuation, or let me say the big brother, of the XUV500. And they've really changed a lot by bringing luxury into this one with a lot of features and a lot of things. It's a 7-seater. This is the AL7, or is it ACAM? And I've really enjoyed this car. It's pretty comfortable and quiet. The 2-liter petrol engine, which produces 149 kilowatts and 320 or 80. I think it's 280 meters of torque. It's pretty quiet. I doubt you guys will be able to hear it unless I accelerate quickly and everything. But overall, I've enjoyed the ride of the vehicle. It's comfortable, it's quiet, and it picks up. Those torques really do come into play when you need them to. And, you know, it's one of those things where Mahindra has shifted from a brand where people never really used to take it serious. And everywhere I've went, I mean, literally, I wish I had taken reactions from people that were really like, yo, crap, what's this car? This car is so nice. Because of the new logo, people don't know it's a Mahindra, and I like educating them about it. The smart door handles, the top speaker Sony sound system, which is immaculate. Guys, there's no better sound system than that. Driving up for the guns out here on the road, so you have to on the lookout. Hence, the Mahindra has so many safety features, such as collision avoidance. It'll brake for itself, lane assist, a bunch of other things. I like this feature when I indicate, it shows the camera for what's behind me or the lane which I'm indicating to. It's just so, it's all thought out, you know. Things which most you'll be paying extra in most car brands come in this car at a reasonable price. This car you'll be paying, I think, from 6K per month if you're paying monthly, but the full price of the specific car is 559,000, which is very, very reasonable for the tech it has. I was comparing it with someone. I'm like, let's go take a starting price X1, BMW X1, and I think it will be relatively around the same price, if not cheaper or expensive. And we sit and compare. Yes, you're a BMW, I'm driving a Mahindra, but let's talk about the tech. I have this, you don't have this. I have this, you don't have this. If you want that, you're going to have to pay extra, and your car is going to go up. The bills is going to go way up. So in terms of this, I'm impressed and I'm happy. And I think we're going to be seeing a lot of these on the road because it's eye-catching. You forget that it's a Mahindra. Actually, when I say you forget it's a Mahindra, Mahindra has paved a new way for itself, whereby, man, it's so in the future, man. They saw that they've got their target market. Let's say if they're driving a Tweakins out here, they got their target market, and it's now time to give them luxury and all the good things which they deserve in a car like this. In terms of reliability, I would say people have been saying Mahindra is reliable. So, loving this car. Top tech, loving. Starting off on the inside, you are welcomed by this all-white interior, which I already said for me is a big no-no, as I'm always in the OED workshop and these seats could turn into black anytime. As I did mention, this is a 7-seater. You can see the third row seat there, which I think is perfect enough for kids, not for adults like me. And we do have a charging port. One child USB charging port is not enough for the 5 passengers who need at the back. This has 12 speakers in the subwoofer, and the last 2 speakers are situated at the back. As you can see here, I'm lifting up the third row of seats, which, as I said, I don't think someone as tall as me would sit there comfortably. But at the end of the day, this is a family car. And we do have this panoramic sunroof, which does add a lot of ambiance, in my opinion, to this car. When you view from the inside, it just gives you the view of the world outside. I mean, look at that. Stunning. And it does bring brightness into this all-white interior, giving it a perfect look, I believe. They really nailed it. Inside and outside, I'm really impressed with this Mahindra. So what I want to show you guys is my favorite feature out of everything is the adaptive cruise control. So I'm going to set the cruise control in. I need to just zoom it up. And I'm going to set it, cruise, set, cruise, stand by. So you see the steering wheel is on, and the adaptive cruise control, I can select the distance which the car travels. And as you can see, my hand are not on the steering wheel. It will curve for itself, not really turn. It will curve for itself and keep itself in the lanes. This car is coming in front of me, and my length, you see, is braking because this. Let me increase the length so you see it. Brake for itself. You see, it shows 1 bar here. If I say I want 2 car, no, which one is it? Oh, this one. 4 car lengths. It will brake for itself as it gets closer to other cars because it wants to. It's called adaptive cruise control. So these are just some of the things which I really do like about this car. Let me set it back to my normal setting of the one-time thing. And another thing is when you overtake, when I indicate, nobody shows on the camera. It shows the camera on the side and it's trying to turn forward. And then I can just override it, be back. If I want to turn back to that lane again, it will show the camera again, show me what's on that side. That's the lane assist activating. But I just want to do a demonstration of that. So those are the small things. And then the cruise control will go back to its previous setting and a bunch of other things. This is called level 1 autonomous driving. Not saying you should do this, but I was eating while I was in a hurry. Cameraman was waiting for me. But the car won't let the car drive itself, whereas with me originating, it will warn me every now and then, keep your hand on the steering wheel. But overall, this is a feature which I do appreciate for long drives. If you want to do something, or if you want to get something that side and you know it's a straight road, I do trust the car to that extent. And Mahindra has really outdone themselves. I feel like with this, I am really stoked by this. I'm speechless to many degrees. Now, I think everything else I covered in the video which I took in the morning showing us the infotainment system. I did mention how quiet this car is. Right now all you're hearing is the road noise.
But as you can hear now, we're on a quiet road and you won't hear the sound, even if I accelerate hard. So when you hear it, and was when you hear the progressive sound. One thing I was talking about, please look into this millimeter again. I said it does switch off right 140 now. Okay, over the speed limit, dimensional speed limit. We just get that back in there. So you see it switches off the dials that it doesn't need. So the lower ones are off again. And even at the rev, we're back at 80, 100 is going to switch off, and so forth. So, pretty impressive for a brand which people just thought as, I don't know what your comments were about Mahindra. I'm just going to hold mine back. They might get in trouble. But I'm happy with what they've developed in terms of this car. They've brought luxury to their brand, and it's really going to give their competitors a run for their money. It's good value for money, I would say. Steering wheel, I'll just put one hand off. But this is my favorite feature. I'm not saying do stupid things while you're doing this, but it's very helpful. Look at it. Look at it.
X-Men was mega color was this, and that will try for me then any day.
I mean, it's scary at first. So but once you get used to it, I was using the X7. This is the way I've seen this happen. So, and a car of this class, I mean, they've really outdone themselves. I feel like this competes directly with the X1. And for you to get, I don't even know if there's such an option on the X1, but for you to get such options, and we have to be paying a lot of money. They get all this and a lot more for just 560,000, right? Man,
Half a minute.
if I have $1,000,000, when you put it like that, it's not expensive. It's hard. It's reasonable. So we'll start off with the digital cluster in front of me. Right now I'm in park, the car is off. And I just wanted to show you guys a couple of things. So ever since I got this car, I've traveled 625 kilometers in it. It's been a week and a couple of days, if I'm not mistaken. And I've apparently driven this car for about 16 hours. So, that's a lot. Averaging the speed of 37 kilometers. Obviously, it's a bit off. Just depends on how you're driving and all. And we have different sets of options if we come here. You can scroll down. There's a trip which I was calculating a couple of days ago and seeing how much petrol it will use. It's not actually bad on the petrol times of side, but it's actually a good car. There's this driver attention level, which I never really understand. It's always on yellow on me, a few times on green, but majority of the time it's on yellow. And coming back to this, we can change. We can get the fuel information, the vehicle information, which tells you things like the tire pressure, the temperature of the tires, and the torque and power of you're using. Moving on to the other one, we have the driver assist, which I will particularly show this one on the highway, whereby it has a level 1 autonomous driving, and it shows you a couple of things. I really like this feature. It also shows you things like the speed limit on that specific highway or road you are, and lane assist, and a couple of other things. And we go here, there's also the display layout, which we can change from normal, which I think is the one we are on right now. Yeah. And then there's also information. Let's see what information shows us. So I think it puts everything back together, which fits it to one screen, which I feel like I actually do like that one. But most of the time I've been in the minimal, because the fewer information you have, the better, which you don't need. And one thing I like, let me just turn it on. One thing I like about this car is when I think I'll show it on the highway, it's not showing. So, this also helps a lot. When you're parking, it turns on the tire direction. But I will show you something else on the highway, that the revs are very different in terms of this. Let me try and get it on another option. So, as I said, if you don't want to see a lot, it won't show you a lot. So as you can see, will it show here? Yeah, sort of. So look at the speed. It only shows 0, 20, and 40. The higher you go, the other ones turn off on, and these ones turn off. Same with the rev meter. It's 0 and 1 and 2 a bit, and the higher you go, the lesser revs turn off and the other ones turn on. It's pretty smart. I like it. It's something which is very, very needed, I feel. But let me just say it's a nice thing to have. Let me say it's needed. Let's go back to the fuel information, because I see the fuel tank has went up. You see what it's saying? 73 kilometers of range, but look at the bar. And if you've seen a couple of videos, the bar has been going up and down. So hence I'm saying the fuel gauge is not really accurate. We have the driver assist that showed that. And the settings, which we previous amount driver assist, I just had everything on, especially the smart pilot assist. My favorite feature of this car, the high beam assist, traffic sign recognition, as I mentioned before. And one thing I gotta say, if you see this sign, look at it. This little one right here, yes. If your signs are going up and down, and I expect that when I press this, everything should be going up and down. Not that I should be pressing down for left or right, and so forth and so forth. And there's the alert called history alert. I've never got an alert on that. But yeah, that's pretty much a bit of what you have to know about the infotainment system and the two-peak mountain logo. People call it a butterfly. There's the cruise control and all that you'll be seeing on the highway. Now we jump on to the infotainment system. Before I go on there, one of my favorite features is right here. We have a 12-speaker Sony sound system in this car with wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. There's a coming soon sign there. I wonder what's coming soon. Then we have two fun with the XUV700 options. This one is for media. So for simple things like radio, music and all that, you can also control it from using this. It will change. One thing which I say I also dislike about this is that there's no volume button for the passenger or anything. I have one for the driver right here. But for the passenger, you have to scroll down, and sometimes it doesn't work. And then we can switch it up and down. But you also have all these different modes that you can choose: radio, Bluetooth, and all that. And I'll press the home button just to continue showing the main menu before I get into detail about a lot of things. And it's, yeah, this one, the second one, it shows you the torque and power you're using. So for example, let me just make sure handbrake is on. If I rev, it will go up and all that, showing me the direction and all that. I really use this one. I prefer the one that's on the screen that I showed you before. And then we can go back to our music options. See what I'm saying? See what I was saying? You get confused when it's time for the volume, and I hope I don't get a copyright from it. I'm actually going to mute that off. Thank you, J. Cole. And then we go to settings. Settings is why the first time I got this car, the first thing I did is go to the audio settings, where you get different types of settings. So as I said, it's the surround sound with 12 speakers, 3D sound. You change from a different type of settings, and they all do different things. Position, we know that one. Fill size, you decide how deep you want the bass. And I feel like the bass, because the subwoofer is at the back, you hear it better at the back. I've had the settings all the way to the maximum because I enjoy it this way. And what else? There's a couple of other things. Yeah, volume settings, Google Assist, Western recognition, whatever. All these things. But yeah, what else? There's the display settings, brightness, clock type, whatever. What else did I want to show? General. Oh, this is a pretty simple infotainment to use, but different from a lot of infotainment systems from other car brands. So it might confuse people. Let me just turn the car off. I like that. Gives you an update of whatever is happening when you switch it off and everything.
Anyway, guys, thank you for watching today's video. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe, and stay tuned for the next one. Till next time, goodbye.